Hi everyone. Right, okay. So today we're going to be using some distress, some templates, some sort of silhouette planty stamps and whatever. So we're going to do some. Last week I did a really sort of involved project, lots of painting, whatever. Today it's going to be more. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be quicker, sort of easily put together projects. So we will get started in a minute. I'm just going to wait for, in case anyone else wants to join in. I hope you're all doing okay and having an alright week so far. I put this thing on Facebook last week. It is Blur's Day of the 14th because, time and date has lost all relevance. Hi Marcia. Okay, so shall I begin? Or shall I just wait a little moment more? I have got two colourways. Hi Denise! That I'm going to use to show you things today. I've got sort of a red, orange and yellowy palette and a bluey, purpley palette. Okay, so what we're doing, we're going to be using these easy frames. Okay, so I've cut some squares of card. If it's not enough or I want to show you something else, I will do that as we go. But I have got a few. So we're going to be using some easy frames to show you basically just some nice, simple, quick together cards. Now with these, I've got to be honest, I don't tape them down when I'm working with them, but that's an impatience problem from me. If you do feel when you are using templates and things like this you would prefer to tape them down, then absolutely tape them down. It's not don't tape them down, it's just I don't, because I'm an impatient human. But if you want to, obviously, yeah, you should do that, of course. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to start. Now, what I love about this is you can make scenes. Within that circle, you can make scenes, okay? But they can be really, really simple in just one colour and just sort of make almost a globy colour. But you can almost make them sort of planetary looking as well, which is great. But we do have some other shapes we're going to play with as well, so I will just crack on. Now, this, I was just about to tell an out lie. I don't always plan how I want it to look, but I do generally have a little bit of an idea within my head of how I want it to look. Doesn't always look that way, but we'll carry on regardless. So for this colour palette, I'm using mustard seed, carved pumpkin, and abandoned coral. And it's all going to work absolutely perfectly, exactly as I want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my... Shall I start? I'm trying to work out which way to go, whether to go light to dark or dark to light, because I'm starting in the middle. I think I might go light to dark. So what I'm going to do, I'll move my ink over here rather than cross over you. I'm going to just work some mustard seed into my blending foam. Okay, and then I'm going to work across the middle of this circle. And then I'm going to come back in from the other side to work across the middle. And then I'm going to get my carved pumpkin. And then we're going to do the same, working outside that mustard seed streak. Okay, ooh, I shift it just slightly, and then again down that side. So you can see where I'm going with this, and you could always just keep it all one colour as well if you want. That'd be nice. Now I'm just going to grab my mustard seed and go back along the middle, and it just creates that really nice soft blend. Okay, and then I'm going to get my abandoned coral. And we're going to work in from that corner. I actually want it a bit darker than that, so I'm just going to go over it until I get it the colour I want. Okay, so then we're just going to work in a little bit from that side. You know, and the nice thing about this is you can play. You can play with all the different colours you like to use and add in more or less as you go. Okay, and then when we lift that off, absolutely beautiful circle, which is really, really pretty. And you've got this lovely fine edge to work with. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that back over the top. Just going to put my lids back on because I'm a terrible one just for leaving them off, which is not good for them as a water-based ink. Okay, so I'm going to put that back over the top, and then with my sprayer, my water sprayer, so you can use your mister, or you can even dunk your fingers in some water as well, because we're not going to flick, we're going to droplet. Okay, we're going to add, so we're not going to flick upwards to create sort of like a spray, we're going to drop down. Okay, and that's going to lift that distress ink and wick it to the middle of the water droplet. Okay, so then when we take, you can use a kitchen roll, I've got my microfiber cloth here. Okay, and I'm just going to lift those water droplets off. Okay, and then right there, you've got this lovely sort of almost planety effect, which is quite cool. So you've got your water droplets there, which is lovely. Now, the fab thing about these is you can use your templates with them as well. You can use other templates. But if I was to get a different shape, so I'm going to go with my square. Actually, I'm going to do another circle in the blues. So we'll do another circle in the blues, and then we'll but what we'll do is we'll flick the water for this one. Okay, so it will give you more of that sort of spray look. And what I'll do with this one as well is I'll start like with a dark colour on the inside and work our way lighter, just so you can see. Okay, so let me just put that down. Move those blending tools over there. And grab some bluey ones. Okay. So just wipe that off my mat there. Smudged on that side, so I'll just flip my card over. Okay, I think I've got the right side down. Yeah, so you can see on this one we started with the light colour and worked our way out dark. With the blue one I'm going to go slightly different. Okay, and we're going to put Venice. These are all quite rich colours, so I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, but we'll give it a go. So I'm going to go with my blueprint sketch first. And we're going to work across the middle. Get that really rich blue working in to the centre. Okay. And then I'm going to go with my wilted violet next. And then, is squeak in isolation? No, the squeak has actually returned, Gail. If I move a particular way. Oh, it's not doing it now. It does squeak. But it's okay. Mostly it's behaving. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my Mermaid Lagoon, which is probably the palest of the three, but actually not by much. But what I'm actually going to do then is I'm going to work over this with my wilted violet. I probably should have picked something lighter, like a broken china or a tumble glass, to get a lighter effect. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one is we're still going to use a water ghosting, but we're going to flick upwards, okay? So, is that in the right sort of place? Do you want me to move that up slightly? Okay, so if I just, get my fingers wet, and flick upwards. Alrighty. So you'll see, doing it that way, the water is creating more of that spattery effect where it's going down, which is really good. Okay, so we can just, again, then take your microfiber or your kitchen roll, whatever you've got in your craft room. We're just going to take off the excess, lift off our template. You can see, I'm going to get that extra dabs of water that have just run over, but I think that's okay. Alright, so you've got, so you can see, just changing the colourway up, changing how you do water, and obviously you can mist through your pattern templates as well to create sort of different effects on these. They're just really, really cool, and then you can decide which way you like it for your card. You know, you could say that's almost like a rainy sort of effect as well, which is really, really cute. So it's just, you know, deciding how you want to do it. Excuse me, because then what I will also do with these, so I'm just going to show you with this one, you can either leave them like that, or I'm going to get my abandoned coral and I'm going to get the inside part of the frame, okay, which is the circle, and I'm going to get a brush. Now this isn't something I do a lot of, so I usually use a blending tool, but I want a really, really soft edge, so I'm just going to put some of my abandoned coral onto my mat, pick it up with my brush, okay, and we're going to dust the ink around the outside of our, I'm going to call it sort of like a sun, but it could be, it's a bit too dark to be Jupiter, not red enough to be Mars, but that's okay. And then when you lift that off, you've sort of got that red sort of haze. That's where a bit of water was left, and the ink's picked up on the water and got more intense. So what I would do with this one, that's where I would stamp something. Okay, honestly, that's where I would stamp something. And I will say, I don't do it a lot anymore because of what used to happen. I did always used to say to people, if you see a sentiment on any of my projects that's layered up, that's because I've tried to stamp it directly on the project and it's gone wrong, so then I've layered it up and put it on top. Because that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay, so we've got those two there. Absolutely beautiful. But what you can also do, and I'm going to get some more colours involved now, I think, is because I've got another shape here. I'm going to use my heart, not my actual one. That's a bit messy even for me. And then I've got this sort of horizon here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sort of create sort of like a beach-like scene that you could do as well. So I'm going to go in. I'm actually going to use my Mermaid Lagoon, but I'm not going to ink it up anymore because I think there's quite enough on there, and I'm just going to drag it down to create, I've let it get a bit wet, but it's okay. So I'm going to take that down, take that out, okay, and then with the mustard seed, again, I'm actually not going to re-ink this. I'm going to work it up the way until it sort of fades out into the horizon. You know, and you can bring in your sort of beachy scene there as well. So we've got the, you know, so, and there's loads of shapes to use. and you can really sort of play with them and bring them together to create your different effects. Okay, so for example, I was saying on this one, I would stamp over where I've got that little smudge there, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take, I've got a little dandelion set here. And where's my acrylic box? I've got some, but I've only got my big ones out, but that's alright. That will do. So I'm going to take my big acrylic box and the big dandelion off here, and I'm going to stamp it. And this is what's great about this sort of stamping, the sort of silhouette stamping. You can add it on after and just sort of place it over anything that you don't think went perfectly, or, you know, it's just a case of... Sorry, I'm not keeping up with comments. I hope you're all alright. I am actually trying to concentrate on what I'm doing for once. Okay, I'm going to stamp that dandelion right down there. Okay, well, dandelion clock, it's a gone to seed dandelion. So that covers up that bit I was making. Okay, I'm then going to curve my dandelion stem round. Okay, and make this one go over onto our circle. And then I'm going to just going to wipe that bit of VersaFine off there. The smaller dandelion, because where the waters come out under the template a little bit, it's smudged a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my smaller dandelion and sort of go over the top. And that's that, you see? Lovely. Okay, so you can see it's just by doing your background and then putting your silhouette stamps over the top, you can really, you know, you've got time to cover up anything you're not quite sure of and really just sort of have a play, which is great. Okay, I am going to add on a couple more things to this one, I think. I'm going to have my flock of birds going both into and out of that circle, coming away from there, and then I'm going to put my sentiment straight on. So this is where I was saying earlier, if for example you were to see this card somewhere and the sentiment is layered up, okay, not always, but 9 times out of 10 that's because I have stamped it directly on and I've dropped my ink pad, or I've dropped my stamp, or I've double stamped it, or something's gone wrong, so I've decided to layer it up and put it over the top. Okay, so you know, when you see my stamps, my sentiments, sorry, layered up, that's usually why. Okay, so I think that's lovely. So what I'm going to do, my VersaFine is quite new. I managed to get a new one online, so I'm just going to give that a quick waff with a heat gun, because I don't want to smudge it when I'm layering it up. That would be a bit annoying. I'm just going to put that over there. Oh, drop the heat gun. It's fine though, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to layer this up onto a black layer. And the reason I'm doing that is because we've got that silhouette stamping in the black, and I think it's just going to separate it out because I want to put it on a white card. I think if you were putting it on a black card, you wouldn't really need to layer it, but you could add in an orange layer if you wanted to. But that's a personal choice job. You know, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way really. it's very much like when I'm demoing it shows and various things, you know, people come up to me, because I like to use VersaFine or a Memento generally. I do also like to use the VersaClair, but that's disappeared. I cannot find it for love nor money. I've got no idea where I've put my VersaFine Clair. Nowhere. No idea. But anyway, my point. I'm in shows and I have people come and say, oh, I prefer to use black archival. Is that okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really just here saying this is what we use, this is what we make. But, you know, I honestly think your black ink pad, it's a very personal choice for a crafter. Your choice in black ink pad. It's kind of like your choice in your favourite pair of scissors. It's something very, very specific to you. So yeah, when I'm cutting layers at home, this is how I do them. I stick them down, I stick it on, and then cut the layer. That way, I'm only ever having to cut two sides. So that means I only have two sides that I can cut squiffy. That's all. I'm trying to reduce. So you can see, so we're going to actually put some 3D foam under that one. I just think to lift that black layer off would be absolutely lovely. But I will say as well though, if you are... Do I have some bigger foam pads? Because they're really tiny. The answer to that question, ladies and gents, is no. Alright, bear with. I'll finish these ones off first. So if you were a glittery, if you like to add glitter or sequins or, you know, gems to your project, I really do think these ones, you have a great capacity for that, because they do have those little areas you can add. You can add those ones on. So let me just work over here. I really need to get some bigger foam pads. This is ridiculous. You can tell I'm used to just 3D foaming up sentiments and things, really, and not usually big panels. The beauty of it is though, you just need to peel off enough for it to stick, and the rest are just to stop it bowing in the middle. So here we go. So you're all having a nice day anyway. It's quite pretty outside. I've decided I'm going to get my camera out later and take some pictures of... I'm going to sit still in the garden and see if I can get pictures of any of the birds coming in before Lucy chases them. That's the dog. Okay. So make sure I'm sticking the right way, which I wasn't. Okay, I'm going to put that in the middle. So you can see fingerprint, Beverly. You can see it comes together so easily, so quickly. Absolutely. And I just think it's really, really beautiful. And it is a card that's for any sort of occasion. You can really sort of send it to anyone for anything. It's very non-person specific, which they are foam pads for the borrowers. They're so small. I'm sure I had some bigger ones, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, that Abby's probably been borrowing them when she's been doing Facebook Lives. So, you know, you've got that one. So that's in the orange, which I think is really lovely because you get that sort of sunset feel, which is quite nice. But if we go over here to our blue one, okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one, I think. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to put my dandelions to the side. And I did have this tree. Quite good. It's just a blank tree silhouette. So what you can do with this one is you can then add on leaves or knot or highlight sections or whatever. So it's a really sort of handy stamp. And as well, I know this piece of card is 14.5 by 14.5, just to give you an idea. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Well, if I was using a bigger one, I might want a taller tree, but that's actually a reasonably easy fix, because we're going to stamp our tree. And because I've got a tall stamp, I'm turning it that way because I want the drops coming down. Okay, and I stamp sideways most of the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tree up here. Okay. But I want the stem to come all the way out the circle. Or do I? I'm not really sure now. I kind of like it within the circle. I really don't know. Okay, I am going to extend the stem. I actually quite like it within there. I am. So I'm going to show you how to extend the stem on another piece of card. Here we go. So, if you want to extend the stem on a tree like this, or on the big dandelion or anything really, don't worry about drawing it. If you can, invert it. Okay, and what I mean by that is, so we're going to stamp this tree in the middle of this piece of card, and I've already done a better job of stamping it than I did on my finished project, but that's fine. That's fine. And then I'm going to ink up the trunk of the tree again. Okay, and we're going to turn this over, and we're going to do that. Okay, and then basically you've made your tree sort of taller if you need it to be, which is awesome. So, sorry, I was planning to do it on that bit, but I actually really like it within the circle, so I didn't want to change it. Sorry about that. But yeah, so you can see you can extend your trees out if you need to. And again, that will work on those long dandelions and things like that as well. So from here, this is where you have, again, possibilities available to you. I am going to, so for example, you could go in with your white pen, which hopefully is going to work this week and not let me down like it did last week. I have used it many times in between, but you know, that doesn't seem to matter. I'm going to go, yeah, it's doing it again, look. So you can add in white highlights. You could use this to create almost like little blossom flowers over your tree too. So you've got, because again, I've done a little bit of double stamping there. It happens, okay? I sort of dropped my block as I was lifting off. So we don't worry about that too much. But again, you could go in, if you are a glittery person or you like perfect pearls, things like that, you could go in with something like, okay, so we've got some stickles here. This isn't going to work either. This is what happens when I go off plan. Hello, Lucy dog, I was just talking about you. Yeah, went off plan. Now nothing works. Now Abby was definitely using some stickles yesterday, so I know some of them work. There we go. So we'll go with this one. Yeah, there we go. So you could just add on your blossoms using stickles. You could use acrylic paint. You know, there's so many ways to decorate the tree as it is. You could, you know, use Marty, a cherry blossom tree, exactly. So you could use some white acrylic paint if you haven't got a white pen. You could use or some pink. That'd be beautiful. We used to have this lovely sort of Japanese maple in the garden that had these absolutely beautiful blossoms on it, but unfortunately the beast from the east killed it. you know, you can just quickly add these on. And I am not a massive glittery person, I don't mind saying, because I'm not. The glitter in this craft space generally only comes out if the kids are in it or it's Christmassy time, because then I feel like I'm allowed. I know I'm allowed the rest of the time, but I'm just saying. Okay, but that's going to go on forever. But you can see where I'm going. So you can add on these little green dots and keep it all within the realm of your green, of your blue circle, which is really, really good. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to go a slightly different way. So you saw how I dusted round the orange circle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the circle. Okay, so we're not going to do the outside at all. We're just going to, the inside, sorry, we're just going to do the outside. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get, we might put a little bit of hickory smoke on the inside. We'll see. So I'm going to go back to the sort of sunset colours we were talking about, we were using before. Get my blending tools out. Now, I'm a big believer in making your life as easy as it can be, okay? So don't twist yourselves inside out. So I'm going to do my abandoned coral. And again, because I'm using 3 colours, I am going to put it into thirds. So I'm going to use my abandoned coral across the top. Okay. Then I'm going to do my carved pumpkin. Across the middle. And then, in order to keep myself sane, because I'm right-handed, I'm just going to pick it up, turn the whole thing around, and then do my mustard seed. Okay? So there's no point trying to like bend over yourself and crease yourself up, because that's just not comfy, basically. It's just not comfy. Alrighty. So we're going to add in these colours. Lift that off. So then you've almost got sort of a moonrise instead of a sunset. Okay. But that being said, that doesn't have to be the moonrise if you don't want it to be. You could add in a moon stamp as well. I think that would look really pretty here. So if I've got, I might do that actually. So I'm going to add in, I might build this one up to be slightly bigger. I'm going to continue working with the giant acrylic block, because I don't know where my other ones are. Ah, there we go. I just wasn't opening my eyes properly, if you can imagine. Yes, this is my favourite one. It's much easier to use. Okay. So, ooh, that was close. That was so close. Right. More haste, less speed. Okay. So I'm going to put my moon there. And lift that off. And then I'm going to go in, because I have my branch here as well. And I'm going to put that. I've got my desks all in a pickle now. can tell I've been in here a little while. It's all starting to get a bit messy. Got a branch coming in there. And then I think I might go for a series of weeds going across the bottom. So I'm going to get my teasels. Where's my piece of card? I'd put a piece of card under if I'm stamping over the edge with my Versafine, just to save me having to mop up lots of dark marks on here. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to several generation stamp this one. Okay. Teasel. We'll do a couple more dandelions, I think. But I'll start from the other end, so all the third generation stamping doesn't end up in the same place. Okay, and then one more weed. What else have I got? The elder. Messy desk, happy crafter. Well, I have to say, the state of my desk, both here and at the unit, is, shall we say, the source of ridicule for many people. Well, they're ridiculing me, but many people like to do it. You know, and I do get a lot of the, oh, messy desk, messy mind. But my perfect retort for that, in my opinion, is, and what does an empty desk mean? See? It's a good one. Okay. So that's our weeds going across the bottom. And I think we need some more flock of birds on there, don't we? If in doubt, add in a flock of birds. Just go in. I love these because you can just angle them and put them in. Oh, I'm so chuffed with that. I really am. Okay. So again, because of, excuse me, the black layering on there, the black stamping, I am going to layer that on black again. And put that onto. I know what you're thinking, why doesn't she finish the piece of black card she started earlier? In reality, because I don't know where I've put it. It's disappeared. Gone. So again, I'm going to stick that down. See, look, black fingerprints on everything. I'm going to have to try and clean my hands. Rather. You think it's spooky? See, it doesn't seem spooky to me. I quite like the silhouettes and things. And I've always maintained I see lots more scary things in the light than I do in the dark. Okay. So I'll lay that up again, nice thin layer. And I am going to stick this one directly onto a card because basically I don't want you to have to endure me peeling off the back ends of those teeny weeny foam pads again. It's a bit cruel, really. So you can see that layer with the black. I am going to finish up the little glittery tree one. I have to say, I am going to finish that up and I will put it on when it's done. Just need another big card. Do you know what? I am going to 3D foam it. I'm just not going to make you watch. So I'll put that on there just so you can see. Okay. And that, I think, is really, really pretty. So this is the thing. You can take, you know, pick out all your little silhouette stamps that you've got from everybody and think, right, how can I use them together? How can I create a scene? How can I, you know, just have fun with it? But you can see how quickly you can create something that's really pretty. And, you know, I just love them. I think they're so easy, they're so fun, they're so pretty. But you can also use this sort of layout, if you like, on your journal pages, you know, because if you put that on a journal page, you'd have room for some writing as well. You could add in more layers and use paint to, you know, other templates, and really sort of mix it up. So, you know, make sure that you're getting your stamps out and you're playing with them, because the nice thing about having your stamps and having the time to play with them is they're not consumable. They're something you have, that you can keep playing with, you can keep messing with, you can keep stamping, you can keep trying different techniques. And obviously another great way of using these is to heat emboss too. Add in heat embossing, which is great, and really have a go with your different techniques. Okay, so that I think is me for this week. If there's anything else you'd like to see, please let us know. Please let the team on this group know as well. You know, and we're putting together and we'll see what we can do. Alright then guys, have a great rest of your day. If there's anything I can do to help, please get in touch. Alright, bye!